Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. Welcome to our virtual Sunday school. Tonight we'll be discussing day 12 of our Jesse tree ornaments, and tonight we're going to learn about the story of Jesse. Father Marshall, can you tell us the story of Jesse?
Sure. Jesse is an amazing person because Jesse's sort of there in the Bible to point to somebody else. But remember, we heard about Ruth and how Ruth and Boaz were married and had Obed, and Obed had a son named Jesse, and Jesse had a son named David. Now, David was the youngest of Jesse's sons. And when the kingship of Saul had kind of gotten broken, because Saul wasn't a very healthy person inside his heart and his head, God said, I think we need to find another king. And so he sent Samuel out with a bull, an ox, to go and visit Jesse. And if anyone asks you where you're going, just tell them you're going to prepare a sacrifice. And then tell Jesse and his household to purify themselves so that they can be present for that. And I will show you one of Jesse's sons who you will consecrate as king. And so Samuel goes to Jesse, show me your sons. And so Jesse brings out his eldest son and he says, here's my eldest son. How about him? And Samuel goes, no, the Lord isn't favoring him. And then here's the tallest one. No, it's not him. Well, here's the strongest one. Well, here's the smartest one. Well, here's the cutest one. And he goes through all of his sons. And Samuel says, no, the Lord's favor isn't on any of those. And then Samuel says, do you have any other sons? And Jesse says, I have one more son, but he's out in the fields. And actually, we're going to hear about him next week. But the whole thing here is that all of these children that Jesse had were raised in the same household, in the same line as Ruth and Boaz and Obed were, which is this is a righteous family. These people have had a reputation for being righteous for generations. These are good people. And the story of Jesse is really important because the idea of Jesse, he is seen as the root, the very base of a family that is eventually going to bring us not only David and Solomon and the great kings of Israel, but eventually from these people comes the person we know as Jesus. So he's the great whatever grandfather of Jesus Christ himself. There you have it. So hence the stump. And the scripture in Isaiah says, a branch shall come forth from the root, the stump of Jesse. And one of the things that's important to remember about grapevines and fig trees and all the rest is that fruit only comes from the new growth. And so that's what we do every year to our grapevines and our fig trees. We trim them close and new growth comes.
That was a great story, Father Marshall. Thanks for sharing.
Thank
And
you.
thank you all for joining us. Stay tuned because next we're going to be doing day 13, which is the story of King David.